Hi everybody, I'm Regina Sellers and I am the creator of all of the Probo products. This year for our little bunny, I made this little bunny quite a few years ago, and this year a lady contacted me probably in January, and she goes, "Oh, I'm so excited to see what you're going to do new with your bunny this year." And I thought, oh my, I have to think of something new. And I think and this kind of popped into my mind, I think because of COVID and because of my age, I mean, we were really the ones who took it very seriously, and we stayed at home and stayed away from people, didn't have anybody over from us 2.5 years. And then once I started having family and visitors again, my hallway is set up in such a way there's actually 4 doors. And so I had friends coming over and they were like, "Oh, I forgot where your powder room is." And out of those 4 doors in that hallway, there's the powder room, the closet, the laundry room, and the back door. So I think that's kind of where the idea came from, and I think it's gotten very popular that people are now hanging wreaths inside of their home. And so I thought, well, maybe it'll be a cute idea. We'll make the bunny and we'll put a backing in it. We'll fill it up. It's not just a circle. And if you'll notice there, we have the words powder room. And so this, I'm decorating the inside of my house. Maybe you'll enjoy this. And we have an idea. We're going to make one. It's going to say laundry room. So maybe you'll enjoy that. Now, and this is a series. It's all free, and you can go to my website, probothehand.com, and you can watch the series. I show you every little step of how to make this, and you can download the patterns. They're free. You can print them, and I hope you'll enjoy it. So let's begin. So the first thing I'm going to use is my foam board. I got 1 sheet of foam board, and y'all, I've done this several times. I find that the foam board that you can get at Hobby Lobby is a better quality especially for this than the Dollar Tree one. Y'all, this foam board is only $2. It's $1.99 at Hobby Lobby. The one at the Dollar Tree is wavy. Okay, so it had a little, and I tried it, but they had a little wave in my fabric, so that's just a little information there. I just prefer the foam board from Hobby Lobby. So anyway, 16-inch ring. That's what it's going to take to make the bunny. And if you're going to put the backdrop, a backing into your bunny, this now becomes your first step. This is the first thing that you're going to do whenever you start making your bunny, because you're going to use this, as you're going to see in a second, to cut out your circle. And you want to do that before you wrap it with your fabric. Okay, so you have a 16-inch ring and your 12-inch ring. And what you want to do, you want your backing to be just a tad smaller than your finished bunny. Okay, so I'm just going to hold this on here. I'm just going to hold it down, and I'm going to take my pencil, and I'm just going to go. You see how I'm just using this to make my circle? And y'all, it's not perfect. It is absolutely not perfect, but it's perfect enough. Okay, the ring itself, it's not just 100% perfect, but it's, once it all gets wrapped and everything, it's believe me, you can't see anything. Okay, so there is your circle, and like I said, it's not quite perfect, but it's perfect enough. Okay, so there, we've used our ring to make our circle. We're going to put that on the side, and we'll go ahead, and I'm going to turn my board around, and then I'm going to cut. I'm going to draw out my circle, and I'm going to move this kind of on the side over here, because I can get one. No, never mind. I'm sorry. That was for the other bunny. You can put this on the side, because you want to save this piece. I really could have pushed that over to the side. You could have, depends on the different kind of things you make. You might save this piece. This is a good size. This is a good size piece here. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to put this here so I can save all of this piece here. And I'm going to do this again and do my circle. How easy is this? Y'all, this little bunny is just, it takes a minute, you know, to do each little step. But I think it's well worth it. I have a video on how to make the ears and the feet, because Hobby Lobby did not sell the ears and the feet last year. And so I made a no-sew version. Of course, I really prefer, because you get really fancy with your ears if you make them yourself, and they're super easy to make. So make sure that you check that out, okay? So there, I've drawn my two circles, and now I'm going to take my box cutter here, and just very carefully, and make sure that you put a cardboard or something. You know, you need to put something underneath, because you certainly don't want to cut your mat. And we're just going to cut out our circles, okay? And just be really careful. Yeah, it's pretty easy to do, but just, you know, just carefully as you can, and just go around and just cut out your circles. And I'll be back with you in just a second. Okay, we're ready for our next step. I've cut out the two circles. I was very careful. I didn't cut myself or anything. Just be careful whenever you're using that really sharp blade. Okay, so there's my circles that are cut out. Okay, this is just a little helpful hint. I've made quite a few of these bunnies, and I'm using a very light colored plaid. Okay, if you get the least little bit of glitter, or like was playing with my puppies before I came and I started this, I might have a couple of dog hair on me. We're going to decoupage the fabric to the circle, okay? And I've discovered that if you're not super careful, that like if you have a dark dog hair, which mine has some black hair, and I had to throw one of my circles away because I had a dog hair underneath it, and it showed through the white. Can you believe that? One little dog hair. So here you go. Use your roller. And you can see, and look, I've cleaned this and cleaned this. I have just rolled myself. I rolled the table, and look, I see one little piece of glitter right there. And just clean as good as you possibly can. You don't want to get any glitter. And y'all, I use glitter constantly, so I have glitter on everything. So anyway, just roll yourself, your shirt, and your workspace, and just, if you're using a really light colored background, because it will show through once your decoupage, your Mod Podge, I'm sorry, I always call it the wrong thing. It's Mod Podge, it's not decoupage. So anyway, just so clean up your little areas so you don't get any glitter or dog hair or any kind of little thing between your fabric and your circle. And y'all, this is just a lint roller is fabulous for that. Okay, so I did that. Okay, and look, you see, I can never get rid of every little piece of glitter. That's just part of my life. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is, because I don't want to get any Mod Podge on my cutting mat, I could have taken my cutting mat away, but that's a pain because it's so big. What I always do, I keep a big roll of aluminum foil, and if I'm going to paint or do anything like that, I just put out aluminum foil, and that way I can just roll it and throw it away, and I don't have to worry about anything. Okay, and it's another thing. It helps kind of control my glitter or my junk or my trash or anything else that I might have around. So anyway. So let's put our, let me show you this. This is important if you're using a plaid. You need to find the center of your circle, okay? Because we're going to put our plaid, this is a plaid, we're going to make sure that the line in our plaid is exactly the same in the bottom as in the top, because you want your plaid, you don't want your plaid to be like, so here's my little mark on my little top. You can see that top and bottom. You don't want to put it like that. You want to make sure it's straight. And you want to make sure that your plaid in your bottom is the same as the plaid in your top. So that's why I marked it. Okay, I just laid it on my mat, and I found the center and I marked it top and bottom. So that's all you have to do for that, okay? Just find your center, your circle, use your mat, and find your center, and that's all there is to that. Okay, so here is our fabric, okay? And as you can see, it's a beautiful little plaid. I thought it looked really pretty for Easter. And I'm going to lay my circle on here. Okay, and I'm going to decide, let's see. I want the pink, so you see my line, I'm putting it right there in the middle of the pink. And so I can kind of play with this on the plaid. So there, see my mark there, it's right in the middle of that, okay? And that's all we need to do. I mean, that's all there is to do. And then my fabric is gonna have, let's see, I'm gonna mark it a little bit above here, and then a little bit here. I'm not gonna mark it right up against it, because I don't want my pencil mark to show, because now all I'm going to do is just this, because you want your little circle to be bigger than your circle of fabric, because it'd be too hard to work with if you cut it out exact, okay? Because you're gonna decoupage, Mod Podge this onto your little circle, and then you're going to let it dry overnight, and then tomorrow you're going to just come and take it and cut the edge off, okay? Okay, so that's good enough, see? And then that's your piece of fabric that we're going to use, and you're going to cut it out. Let's cut that out real quick. And you don't have to be real fancy about it, because you're going to cut this off anyway. That's just giving you an idea. And just, you only have to do this if you're using a plaid. If this was a print, well then you might have some kind of print that you might line up a certain way, but this is just so I can line up my lines in my plaid. Okay, so that's my top circle. And now let's cut out our bottom circle. Okay. Oh, I just nicked it. I nicked that. That's okay. It's like you say, oh Lord, what did I get under there already? All right. We want, see, that line is right in the middle of the pink. And then I'm going to turn it right here and make sure it's right in the middle of the pink. The pink line, the darkest line. There we go. Line it up. And where'd I put the pencil? Right there. I'm going to make a line out here, one up here, and then you want your circle. You want your circle of your fabric to be bigger than your circle. And like I said, this is very rough. That's all that matters. Okay, see, it's just that simple. Really simple and easy. That's good enough. And let's cut this out. And if you feel like pressing it again, if you feel like you've moved it around too much and you want to press your fabric, because I pressed this before we started, I got my iron out, I steam pressed it, and right now I'm trying not to hit my my scissors on my foil. I could have done this before I put my foil down. I always think about those things after, when you mess something up. Okay. Let's see. I want to make sure that line shows, because I'm going to just barely. Top and bottom. Yep, I got my line, because that's my center. and I want to be able to see my center. Okay, so that's that, and we're done with this. We're done with this. Just put that over on the side, and let's get started. Now we're going to Mod Podge our circle, our fabric, to our foam board. Okay, so let's see. Let me get my little brush. So here's my little brush, y'all. I think this is a 3 or a 4 inch. Let's see, what is it? I got these you can pick these up at Hobby Lobby. Just all of, I picked this up at Home Depot. But and I have a little wet little paper towel. If you get any trash in it, you want to be able to pick it out. So that's why I have a little piece of wet paper towel. Okay, and then here's my Mod Podge. And I'm just going to pour some on. You want a nice thin line. I'm not going to worry about cleaning that off for now because I'm going to keep using it. You just want a nice thin line, okay? But well covered. Well covered. I know that's hard to tell you exactly how much. You can put, you see, that's not quite enough. That's a little too thin. And I know this is going to be a little hard for you to judge. It doesn't matter. You see how I got that a little piece of trash in there? You want to get that out. There's a little piece. That's why I got the little fabric. I mean my little wet paper towel there. But you see how I'm just putting just a nice little thin coat. No globs at all. Okay. If you've y'all have wallpapered a gazillion times. I was like, oh geez, this is like putting wallpaper glue on. Okay, I think I want a little bit more than that, just a little bit more. And you might want to do like a little test. If you've never done anything like this before, you might want to do just like a little test piece, and with a little test piece of fabric. And whenever we lay our fabric on here, if the Mod Podge comes through, it's okay if it's thick enough that a little bit of Mod Podge comes through, because it's going to dry clear. Okay, so don't worry about that if it comes through your fabric, because this needs to dry overnight, and it dries clear. Okay, but you see how I made that little indentation there with my finger? But you see how I'm just lightly going over that. Okay, good. That's good. So you see why I put down my aluminum foil? Did you see how I got that on there? That's just fine. I'm going to be able to just pick this up and throw that away. I'm not going to have to clean up anything. Okay, now what you need to do is I'm going to pick this up, and through my fabric I can see my mark. I can see my center mark. Okay, and so there's my center mark on here, and so I'm just going to lay that center mark right on top there. I've hit it, and I'm just going to lay this down, and if I have to make any kind of adjustment, I will. Okay, there's my center mark there. That's fine. I hit it fine. Let's see. And what you want to do is start from the center and just don't overwork it. Just lay it down, and with your hands just smooth it out. I can feel just a tiny bit of glue coming through, but that's okay. That's okay. Like I said, you might want to do a little test piece with your fabric first. It's okay if it's just a little bit. You don't want to sop it for sure, but you want to make sure that you don't get any bubbles under it. Okay, if you get a little bubble and you haven't put enough glue, you might be able to pull it up and kind of put some on again, you know, put a little bit on again. But like I said, I know it's hard to tell. I can't tell you exactly how much to put, but you know, I hope you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so you see how I've just smoothed it out with my hands. Okay, now it's all smoothed out, and y'all, that's it. That's all there is. It's done, and you see my little mark there. I can see through. There's my mark. There's my mark. This is just a hair off, but that's going to be okay. I'm close. I'm close. Whenever I put it on and put it on my bunny, I'll tilt it just a little bit. Okay, and that's it. See how nice and smooth that is? And it's looking all straight on my circle. And we're going to put this aside, and we're going to let this dry overnight. Tomorrow, I'll come back, and all you're going to do is cut the edge off, and that's all there is to it. And then all you do is you're just going to hot glue this. When your bunny's finished, you want to do this step first. This is your first step, because you use your ring to cut out your circles. Okay, so this is your first step if you're going to do something in the center. Okay, but it's the last thing that you attach. Whenever you're finished making the bunny, you're going to just trim this around. It'll be nice, tomorrow. You're going to let this dry overnight. You're going to cut this off, and then all you'll do is you'll hot glue this to the face, to the inside of your bunny, so that whenever you're looking at your bunny, of course, this is what you'll see. Okay? So y'all, that's all there is to it. It's just that simple. So let's do our other piece. I'm going to get another piece of aluminum foil. Y'all, I go through so much aluminum foil, I don't care how much I use. It's just, aluminum foil is cheap. But I had some, Mod Podge on it, and I didn't want to touch that again. I didn't want that to get on the back of this piece or anything, so I'm just changing my piece, keeping everything nice and clean and neat. Okay, again, I found my center, and I just laid my on my mat, and so I used my mat, the lines on my mat, to find my center. And so let's just start in the middle. Let's pour some on and just start wiping it on. And so you can see, I think you can easily see how much easier this is going to be if you use the very first one I did, I had like a little 1-inch brush, and I knew immediately, oh, that's a mess. That just takes too long. I'm not spreading my Mod Podge fast enough. So make sure you get yourself a wider brush. You can see how much easier it is to put it on with a wider brush. And you just want it, don't glob it. You want it nice and smooth. Just a nice smooth little coat. You want to make sure you cut everything, good coverage, really good coverage. Okay, I think that's a little dry. That's not quite enough on this side. Okay. Like I said, if you're better to put a tad too much than not enough. Okay? If it comes through your fabric, it's going to dry clear anyway. Of course, you don't want to glob it. And like I said, please, the very first time before you're doing your actual center, and just cut a piece of your fabric, and you might want to play with it to kind of get the feel for how much Mod Podge to lay down first. Okay, but you see a nice smooth glide. Get it on there nice and smooth. And I think I have it well covered, because you want to have enough to hold your fabric down. That's very thin fabric. That's all we need to do. You can sit there and just work it and just overwork it. Okay, let's find our center. There's my mark. I can see the mark through my fabric. I'm laying it, there we go, and I'm just laying my fabric right on. Let's see, I don't have it quite straight. Let's move it over a little, yep, okay, there it is, just right on. See, I got that right on. Okay, I got a little bit of Mod Podge on my finger, get that off, start in the center. See how I got that little bit of a wrinkle there? Y'all, do it very lightly. You want to do this gently. You don't want, your fabric is wet now. If you get any Mod Podge wipe it off, gently, gently, gently move it out, very gently, because your fabric's wet now and you don't want to stretch it. Okay, you see that? I don't, there's a little piece of something there. I don't know what that is. I want to get that off. And you see a little, I think I have a little piece of something there, I think. I have no idea what that is, but we're gonna, a little piece of lint, we want to get that off. See how I could see that through my fabric? You only have to worry about this if you're using white fabric like I am. It shows through, okay? And whenever it dries, it will show through, okay? So just clean that off. Like I said, you can't get your area clean enough. It's like something will just, the air conditioner's blowing right over me. It could be any little piece of anything in the air that just dropped there. Okay, we got it off. That's something on the, okay? And you see how now I'm just gonna just lightly, just lightly, you just don't want an air bubble. That's all. But don't overdo it. Don't stretch it. And that's all. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to putting your fabric to your foam board. Okay? Yep. All nice and clean, all straight. I'm not going to have any bubbles under this. I can barely feel, I got a couple of spots where I can feel it, the fabric is just barely moist. And so I have really good coverage, just the right amount of decoupage, and I'm not going to have any air bubbles under here. That's it, and that's it. That's all there is. That's it. Let's get this off of here. Okay, let's get this out the way. Let's get all of this out of the way for now. I'm gonna drop that off over there. Okay, and so here's my bottom circle. Like I said, if this is your first step, but you're going to put this on last, because all you're going to do, and if you want to put the word powder room, let's see, excuse my reach, okay, you're going to put your bunny together. It's just going to depend on how big a bow you make. Let's see if I can, let's see, hold on, let me see, I'm going to pull my bunny up. I want y'all to see it. Let's see. Listen, I'm trying to get y'all in the camera. Okay, there you can see it. All right, I'm gonna move that just a bit. You see where the word powder room is? Powder room is kind of down to the bottom of my circle, okay? And you can, and I made sure when I don't have these, sorry, I don't have these painted yet. I'm making another one, but it's going to be yellow also. By the way, this is a color yellow. I used Anita's, and I thought they had the name on here. It was just a perfect color for this. Let's see, I was thinking they had the name of the color, but I don't see it at the moment. But anyway, I got this at Hobby Lobby. Come on, I know that they had to have the name. Well, I don't see it at the moment. Anyway, you can see how yellow it is. Just a beautiful sunshine yellow. And I thought it was just perfect. If you're using the Peeps, I thought it was just absolutely perfect. And I'll try to get the exact name of the color. Okay, but anyway, so the last thing I did, I put my bunny together and I put my bow on. I put my bow on first because you want to make sure that your bow, you know, any part of your bow doesn't cover up your words powder room. And you can see that it's going to end up being down. It's not in the center. You don't put the words powder room in the center. It's more to the bottom because your bow is going to be covering up this part here. Okay, so it's going to be more like, and then to get the word powder room in here straight, of course I just followed my line. Okay, and so when I get this painted, finished painting and getting it on here, and then you'll just center it, and I hot glued it on. Okay, and I used the line, and you can see I kind of eyeballed it, You can measure if you like. And that's it. And what I did is I stuck a pin. Once I knew exactly where I wanted this to go, I stuck a pin. I put a couple of pins right here, and then I put a straight pin through right here. I put a couple of straight pins. I put a straight pin right through to there. I put one right there. Just kind of around here, right here and here, because then whenever I picked up my letter, when I picked it up, because I didn't want to be fooling with it, I put my hot glue right in the center, and you don't, like the little small parts, you don't have to put any hot glue there. Put it just a line of hot glue here, a line of hot glue here, just maybe just a touch. I used my small tip. Okay, and then so I got my hot glue on here, and because I had the pins there, I could just sit it. And I said I didn't have to, move it around or anything, adjust it. I had those straight pins in there, and I could just sit it straight down. And I did this. That's how I got my words just perfectly on there. Okay. I hope y'all have enjoyed this. This is all there is to this part. This is all finished and ready. Of course, you'll have to get your words painted. And then that's... make sure you put them more to the bottom, because you want your bow to have its room up here. They're going to go more down to the bottom. This is going to dry overnight. You're going to do this first. This is the first thing you're going to do, because I used my rings. To measure my circle and everything. But you're going to put this on last. This is after you get your bunny finished, then you will hot glue. You can either I have a tiny little I forget the name of the tiny little knife. It's like a little, what is the name of the little knife? It's a tiny little knife. It has a point, and I made a little point here and just the tiniest little hole here, and I wired it on, and I used the white wire that I show you through making the rest of the bunny. I wired it on because it's white, it completely dyes into the fluff. Okay, it dyes into the fluff, and you can't see it at all. So that's how I put my backing on. I just didn't want to fool with hot glue again and just getting it in, into the fabric and stuff. It was just easier to do it that way, but you can hot glue it on if you like. Just make sure you put this on last, because you can't put this on now, because you need to have this top part, this part, and this part. Let me get this off here. Oh, well, that went flying. Okay, you need to have this part and this part open, because you wrap your wire whenever you're putting all your little foo-foo, your flowers, or all your little picks, and whenever you're putting on your bow, you wrap around and around. Okay, so this part right here needs to be open. So you get all of that on, you wrap around your rings, and then you hot glue this on from the back. Okay, and okay, you see, like if this was done, okay, then from the back. Now, just play like this is all done. Your next step, this is all wrapped, and you'll come from the back and just either tie it on with your wire or hot glue it, whichever you feel you want to do. Either one. Okay, that's it, y'all. That's all there is to this. It's incredibly easy, and I hope you enjoy making yourself a bunny. And you can say powder room, laundry room, or you could make one for your daughter or your son, and you could put their name on it. Y'all, I got my letters from Stony Stone with Wild Creek and Company. He cut the letters for me. They were just perfect, and got them in nothing flat. And I called him up and I told him what I wanted. And he said no problem. And in nothing flat, I had my letters. So anyway, contact Stony if you want to have your little. He knows because I told him what size rings we were using and everything, and so he knew exactly. He knows exactly what size, letters to fit within your bunny. Okay, so make sure you call up Stony and he'll whatever words that you want to put, maybe your daughter or your son's name, or just if this is for a present for somebody, you might want to put Nana or whatever, whoever. This could be a gift. You might put that in there, just anything that you would like. And I would love to see what y'all come up with, what you might like to put in the inside of your bunny. Please, whenever you've make one, please show us, because I would love to see what everybody's going to do. Okay, that's it for now, and this is this part. And please watch the whole series. I'll show you how to make just the whole thing, how to make the ears, the feet, how to wrap the rings, how to put your decorations on. The whole thing. Please watch the whole little series and just have fun and make yourself a bunny. And when you do, please let us see what you've done. Thank you so much for now. Bye for now.